All right, guys, the bonus video. A lot of miscellaneous stuff. I'm happy because this is something that, there are certain points that I could not just fit in within the course itself. It messed with the flow, okay? So this is the time where I can relax a little bit and just kind of, compile all that data that I think really is useful. So let us start with two frequently asked questions, and then I'm going to go into the miscellaneous part, right? So the first question is Duolingo any more difficult or any easier than the rest of the tests? The answer, no, it's not. It's the same. What I mean by that, it is just a different type of a test. It's an adaptive test, meaning it's a different technology than what we're used to compared to pen and paper, and that is it. It's different. Let me give you a bit of a background story. Duolingo is actually invented by a person from Guatemala, Luis Van, and he's an inventor of CAPTCHA and reCAPTCHA. We all know what they are. So he 20 or so years ago, he had to take an English test in order to go study abroad. And in his case, he had to travel to another country. So when he saw what happens still with the test, he decided to come up with the Duolingo English test that is an adaptive online test. You only need a laptop, good internet connection, and the app that you downloaded. And again, as already, we've elaborated on this one a lot. You can do it whenever you feel like it. You don't have to travel. So there you go. It's a brainchild from a person who actually had to take a test and travel to it and decided to change something about it. The second very common question is Duolingo different concerning the skills? Since we went through the task, you can obviously now know that it's not different in that sense that it's testing listening. It is testing listening, speaking, writing, and reading skills. But what they did is they combined them differently and named them. So let us go through this. So here are the Duolingo subscores: conversation, comprehension, literacy, and production. What does this mean? When you're having a conversation, you are speaking and listening at the same time. That's why they decided to put those skills together and come up with one subscore named conversation. When you get your certified results, you actually get these names. Conversation, comprehension, literacy, and production, and they tell you your scores in this 4 sub-scores. Okay, let us stop sharing with this one. Okay, so that's it concerning the frequently asked questions. Now I will go through the trivia or additional info concerning the tasks, maybe the app, the test taking experience, etc. Alrighty. So first, let me start with the useful sites. I know I mentioned them before on several occasions, but you can find this, by the way, you can find this in a PDF format I'm going to give you. Oh, sorry. You can find it there, but I just wanted to go through it with you. Concerning the universities, this is an important one, and this is actually one of the key factors that made me decide to make this course, because Duolingo exists, not the Duolingo app, but the Duolingo English test exists for about 2 years at this point. I believe they started in 2019 with the testing, so it's about 2 years. And there are over 3,000 universities at this point that accept Duolingo, and that number keeps rising and rising. And it includes universities like Stanford, Yale, Columbia, many London universities, London, UK. So again, the number keeps rising, and I had several students who literally were in the process of taking IELTS or TOEFL, and that got an email, after having maybe not the best results from IELTS or TOEFL, got an email saying, well, we do also accept Duolingo. which made me switch to Duolingo as well. And then when I started doing Duolingo with them, I realized, again, it's the same level of difficulty, it's just a different format. And I realized that this is a really good opportunity to talk about it more because, again, thankfully, a lot more universities are realizing its value. So there is a list of universities, the institutions link. Then you have to practice the typing for the typing tasks. You have 10fastfingers.com that I recommend. Then obviously you have to practice spelling, how to spell COUK. I've I think I've been recommending this site to all of my students. You know, like I started 5 years ago when I was teaching Cambridge tests to my students. So this is a really good site. You can do it in small portions. And finally, again, concerning the spelling, I've mentioned this one. Again, you only have to use, you must use American spelling in read and complete. Otherwise, for the other tasks, it is okay to use both British and American spelling, but for read and complete, only American is accepted. Here in this UK-US spelling list, you have 1,800 words that are in American and in British spelling, so you can know the difference. That's it when it comes to that's it when it comes to the useful sites. Now, the app. Since when you download the app, you well, and I don't know when they switched exactly now at this point several months ago, but it was first Duolingo was first online, all right? Now it's an app. So what you shouldn't do is exit the app before it finishes uploading your test. That's important. So do not exit it like, I'm done, yay. Exit. No, do not do that. So just, wait just a bit. When it's done uploading, that's it. Also, one important thing, do check your internet connection because most probably if you disappear, even for a second, you will not get certified results. So try to have a very stable internet connection, maybe connected with a cable like Ethernet or something like that while taking the test. So a stable internet connection is a must in order to get certified results. Being an online test, that is kind of a given, but I just wanted to emphasize. This one if you've taken the practice test, but when you go to the next question, you cannot go back. It's not a regular, pen and paper test where you can go to the last one and then go to the back one and then switch, back and forth, to and fro. But in this case, it's just when you go to the next one, that's it. You cannot go back. And I've talked about this one more time because a lot of my students find it like, yay, I managed to be fast. Do not talk too fast and do use all the time that you have, okay? Finishing the task before the clock runs out will not get you extra points, that's for sure. When you're writing, you do not have to, be Dostoevsky every single time. You don't have to have long, complex sentences in order to get a really good high score. You just, obviously, going back into the criteria, you have to be on subject. No, you should not go off subject. You have to be fluent. You have to show the diversity that you have, but that does not necessarily mean long, complex sentences with a lot of commas. Finally, when we're talking about the type of a task where you listen and then type, that is when you maybe you're not sure how to spell a word and you decide to leave it out. Please don't leave it out because you lose more points if you leave out an entire word than if you just slightly misspell it. Okay, so leaving out a whole word will, lose you more points. You won't get like negative points either way, so you shouldn't care. Don't leave out a word. Always try. And I believe this is the best piece of advice I can give you considering reading complete, just guessing the words. Oh yeah, one more thing. This is an interesting one. One of my students recently asked me, if I select all the words in like listen and select, or just read and select the words, that task, if I select all of them, just logically, I will also select the real ones as well. And I will get points for the real ones. That's true. I cannot, I cannot beat that logic, because that is true. You will obviously select the real ones if you select them all. But most probably, I don't know exactly how it functions, because again, talking about the test, it's an adaptive test. So it's AI technology, artificial intelligence technology, meaning you most probably also get negative points, or there is some sort of a balance, achieved in a certain way, if you choose the wrong words or not real words as well. So I don't know what to tell you about that one. If you're going to follow the logic of that student and go select all real words, it's up to you, because sometimes, ironically, out of 18 words, 12 are real ones. So you will get 12 points. But then again, if you follow that same logic, if it's only 4, as we've seen that sometimes it's only 4 real words, you can actually lose points, like you lose 12, but you gain 4. So again, my piece of advice would be just, select the ones that you think are real. That's it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it when it comes to this miscellaneous part of the task. Again, you have the list of most commonly misspelled words in the additional material, the list of the words from reading complete, and all of the time frames, how long the tasks last, how long do you have for taking the test, the tech stuff, the size of the app, or what the internet connection should be. So all of that is just, for you to read through, that is in the additional materials.